This is ShadowQuant, Stocks, brought to you by AresLabs.ai. Before we begin, please note, what you are about to hear is an AI agent panel. All analysis, voices, and production are generated by artificial intelligence. Nothing you hear constitutes financial advice. Always do your own research. Today is Tuesday, April 21, 2026, and this is the New York pre-market. Now, let's get into it. Bitcoin just broke below 65,000 for the first time in 2 weeks, but the focus is on equities. SPY is down 0.2% at $708.72, and QQQ is off 0.32% at $646.79. Meanwhile, the technology sector is up 0.14%, showing some resilience in tech. The VIX is at 17.48, still in low volatility territory. Let's start with the scorecard. Pulse, you were wrong on QQQ. You called it bullish with a target of 655, but it closed at 646.79, a 0.32% loss. I missed the bearish momentum. I assumed the tech rally would carry through, but the broader market pressure was stronger than I expected. Grid, same story. You called QQQ bullish with a target of 655, but it dropped to 646.79.
I overestimated the support at $648.85. The volume wasn't enough to sustain the move and the broader market was too weak.
CIPHER, you also called QQQ bullish. Your target was 655, but it ended at 646.79.
I was focused on the 5-day gain in the technology sector and assumed that would translate to QQQ. I didn't account for the sector rotation into small caps.
SPECTER, you were right on SPY. You called it bearish with a target of 694.46, and it closed at 708.72, a 0.2% drop.
I saw the volume divergence and the lack of institutional buying. I expected a correction, and it came.
Apex, you called QQQ bullish, but it fell.
I missed the macro shift. I was focused on the sector rotation, but the broader market underperformance was more significant than I anticipated.
Let's cover the big picture. The market is opening cautiously. SPY and QQQ are down, but tech ETFs like the technology sector are up. The yield curve remains normal, with 10-year 2-year at plus 0.54 pp. VIX is at 17.48, still low. The VIX is stable, but the market is not showing signs of complacency. SPECTER, what do you make of that?
The VIX is low, but that doesn't mean the market is complacent. It means the market is balanced. The VIX is at 17.48, which is the 5-day range between 16.87 and 21.58. That's not a sign of overconfidence. It's a sign of uncertainty. The market is waiting for the next catalyst.
Pulse, what's the sentiment?
The sentiment is mixed. There's some optimism in tech, but the broader market is cautious. The fear and greed index isn't updating, but the VIX suggests a low-risk environment. The market is waiting for the next earnings report.
Let's talk about SPY. It's at $708.72, down 0.2%. Grid, what's your take?
SPY is near a key support level at $705.76, which was a prior low on April 17. If it breaks below that, it could head lower, but I'm watching the $710.14 resistance. If SPY holds above that, it could stabilize, but if it breaks below $705.76, the market could get weaker.
SPECTER, you've been bearish on SPY. What's your view?
I think SPY is in a fragile equilibrium. It's at $708.72, just below its 10-day high of $712.39. If it closes below $705.76, that would be a strong bearish signal. The VIX is stable, but the volume is uneven. SPY is trading on moderate volume, which suggests mixed participation.
CIPHER, what about the fundamentals?
The fundamentals are mixed. Earnings from UNH, QQQ, and ELV are coming up, but the market is focused on the broader economic data. The core PCE is at 2.97%, which is still elevated. That's putting pressure on earnings performance, but the yield curve is healthy, which is a positive.
Moving on to QQQ. It's at $646.79, down 0.32%. Grid, what's your analysis?
QQQ is in a tight range, with support at $642.52 and resistance at $648.85. If it breaks above $648.85, it could move higher. But if it falls below $642.52, that's a strong bearish signal. The 5-day trend is negative, so I'm leaning bearish.
SPECTER, you've been bearish on QQQ. What's your reasoning?
QQQ is struggling to break above its 10-day high of $650. The volume is moderate, and the broader market is weak. I'm watching the $642.52 level. A break below that would confirm a short-term bearish bias. The market is not showing enough momentum to push it higher.
Pulse, what's the sentiment on QQQ?
The sentiment is cautious. There's some optimism in tech, but the broader market is under pressure. The VIX is stable, but the volume is not enough to support a breakout. The market is waiting for the next catalyst.
SPECTER, you pushed back on grid read on QQQ. Let's dig into that.
I think grid is overemphasizing the resistance level. The 10-day range of QQQ is $578.40 to $650. If QQQ holds above $646.79, it may not be a bearish signal, but the broader market is weak and the volume is uneven. I'm more concerned about the support level than the resistance.
I understand the concern, but the 10-day range is a key factor. If QQQ can't break above $648.85, it may struggle to move higher. The technical setup is still in play.
I agree with SPECTER. The volume is the key. If it can't break above $646.79, the market may not have the strength to push it higher.
Exactly. The volume is the real indicator here. The technical levels are important, but without the volume, they're just numbers.
My 24-hour call, QQQ bearish, target $642.52 by next session.
My 24-hour call, the technology sector bullish, target $157.45 by next session.
My 24-hour call, QQQ bearish, target $642.52 by next session.
My 24-hour call, SPY bearish, target $702 by next session.
My 24-hour call, QQQ bearish, target $642.52 by next session.
The market is in a fragile balance. SPY and QQQ are under pressure, while tech ETFs like the technology sector are showing resilience. SPECTER and Grid are bearish on the broader market, while CIPHER sees potential in tech. Watch for the $642.52 level on QQQ. A break below could signal further weakness. This is AI-generated content for informational purposes only, not financial advice. That wraps up this edition of ShadowQuant Equities. Stay tuned for the New York session, where we will see how these calls play out. Until then, trade safe.